just got to go ahead and get ready. It's game time. It's March Madness. It's 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 time for the Blue Devils to do their thing, man. Like that's my affiliation. That's my team. I'm gonna pick this. I'm gonna pick these brackets based on you know based on what I think. I'm gonna use all the information I have. I'm gonna give them the real deal, Holyfield. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna play favorites. I'm not gonna play chalk. I'm going to give you my bracket, Royalty PM. It's gonna be a good one. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So we're gonna start with the South region. With the South region, first up we got Auburn versus Alabama State. This is pretty cut and dry. I think Auburn's going to get that done. We got Louisville. Louisville's playing against Creighton. Louisville's one of the better teams in the ACC. ACC wasn't that good this year, but what I will say is we are playing close to Louisville, so this will be like a home game. They probably have a lot of support, and in college basketball, I do think that having support home games, they matter. So if I had to put my money where my mouth was, I would definitely say that Louisville takes this one. I think that they got Chunky Hepburn. They should be all right. Next up, we got Michigan, and then we got UC Irvine. I think this is a sneaky game. Michigan will be traveling, but in the end, I do think Michigan will pull that out. I genuinely do. Now, I keep hearing Texas A&M and Yale. This is a sneaky team. Yale has really good defense. They're 13-1 in their last games, not in their last games, but they're 13-1. Yale is 13-1 in their conference. I'm going to pick Yale. Let's see if they can Let's see if they can get a quick upset. Now we got Ole Miss and North Carolina. North Carolina just routed the team. I don't know if they're supposed to be here, but I'll show some state favoritism and go with North Carolina. I think that that 95 points might have been fluke, and I don't think they deserve to be here. They didn't win enough when it mattered. But what I will say is they did enough to not be like a really, really low team. So we'll go ahead and give it to them. Iowa State. We're just gonna go with Iowa State. I don't know much about that matchup. Marquette and New Mexico. I've been watching a few Marquette games. I think that they're a solid team, and I got them going ahead and pushing past this one. Michigan State, Tom Izzo, amazing coach. So we're gonna keep it there. I don't know. I think that'll be pretty smooth. Going back up, we got Auburn, Louisville. Auburn's Johnny Broome is just too good right now. He's potential Wooden Award winner. They haven't been playing well as of late. They've dropped like 3 out of their last 4 games, but I do think that they'll go ahead and get this one done at least. I don't think Louisville has enough firepower to deal with Auburn. So I got Auburn, Yale, Michigan. It was cute to get Yale past that first round, but not gonna mix it up too much here. We'll go ahead and get them out of there. Michigan it is. North Carolina versus Iowa State. I think this will be North Carolina's true test. I'm not 100% sure if they'll pass this one, but I'm gonna give it to them. I'm gonna say that they're the Cinderella story. They're the team that didn't perform that great. But what they did do is they got into the tournament and they're playing with house money. Hey, we shouldn't even got here. Let's do this. North Carolina, I'm going to take them out of there. And then Marquette, Michigan State, Tom Izzo, he's got a great group of guys. I'm going to keep them there. I just think that they're just a good team. So we're going to go there. Now, we got Auburn versus Michigan. And then we got North Carolina versus Michigan State. I think with the first matchup, Auburn, I do think that they have enough to make it this far. I do see them getting to the Elite Eight. I think Michigan's got a good team as well, but unfortunately they don't have enough firepower to deal with Broome, and I think they'll eventually sweep them. You see what I did there? Sweep. But yeah, I got Auburn going past them. North Carolina, Michigan State, I think this is where the road stops. I think once they start playing, quad one decent teams, this is where we have to really think about logic. And logic tells me that North Carolina will, if they make it this far, I got them going here. They're my Cinderella story. Michigan State, I got them going. Now, and to finish out the South, I'm actually going to go out on a limb. I do think that Auburn could, potentially win it all. But I honestly think that the way they've played against good teams and the way that they have taken losses in their SEC championship in a lot of their last games, I think when it comes to the real big games, teams that can play defense, play offense with them, I think they end up losing. I think this is where we have to say sayonara to Auburn, and we're going to go with Michigan State. Now, we're going to go over to the East. The East, I mean, Duke has been the best team in the East. Ironically, they got put in the East. This is Duke versus Mount St. Mary's, Duke. Mississippi State, Baylor. Baylor has some amazing players. They got one of Duke's old players that I thought was the best player last year. He wasn't the best mismatch because he's just not tall. But if we're being honest, Jeremy Roach is one of the best players from Duke last year, and I think it's bittersweet that he's got to play against his team. He could essentially take him out. We got Baylor advancing. Next, we got Oregon. I do think they're inconsistent, and I don't think that's good for what we're doing. I think that they could lose here. I think they could lose in the first round here. I'm gonna go with Liberty. We got Arizona, Akron. I think this is the underlay for the overplay. Arizona, we got them going. Caleb Love, they're going to get it done. VCU and BYU. VCU is one of them teams, man. They always tend to be relevant. So I'm going to just go with VCU, and I'm going to say that they're going to get it done over BYU. I would like for BYU to get it done. I know some people that got them going a little further, and they got some bets on it. Unfortunately, I just don't see it. VCU is a tough out, and I think they're going to be out here. Montana, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a sneaky team. They're always relevant, always in the tournament. They're always somewhere to be around. I think Duke won a championship one of those years against them. I think when John Shire was won his championship, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. So I got them going past that. St. Mary's versus Vandy. I actually got Vandy going here. I've seen Vandy play a couple times. Vanderbilt is a sneaky team, and I've seen them win some games that I thought they had lost. So I'm gonna go with Vandy here, and then down here, Alabama versus Robert Morris. I do see some inconsistencies in Alabama. I do think at times they don't play any defense, but their offense is so powerful that I just don't think Robert Morris has enough to contend with them. So we're just gonna go with Alabama. Duke versus Baylor. Like I said, Jeremy Roach, he transferred. He didn't really see a place for himself there. I don't know. I think we could have used him. Unfortunately, I don't think he has enough power, him and Amir, to get it done. I do have Cooper Flagg and the Duke Blue Devils routing past them. And I think Cooper Flagg will play in game one, but I think this will be the first game where he probably gets his minutes back. But yeah, we'll see. Got him there. Duke getting past them. Arizona, Liberty, you did good. You got us an upset. You helped with the chalk, but I think Arizona's just too strong here. Wisconsin, VCU. VCU's good. I do think this is a winnable game for them, but I do think Wisconsin has a really good team, and they're always irrelevant, always round. So we're going to go with them. And then we got this SEC matchup, Vanderbilt versus Alabama. Alabama, I think, has been a better SEC team than Vanderbilt all year. This is a team they've seen already. And I don't think any surprises are going to come from here. I think Alabama keeps going. All right. So now we got Duke versus Arizona. Of course, this is a good one because you got Caleb Love over there. Obviously, he used to play for North Carolina until whatever happened between him and R.J. Davis. But I do think that Duke is just too strong. I, I mean, if I had to be honest, man, I genuinely think they're just the best team in the country. With that being said, I don't think Arizona has enough to get it done. Although I could see them getting upset and it being like Caleb Love hit the shot to beat them. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, sometimes you can't fight faith, and faith just has Duke in its grasp. Duke moves on. Wisconsin, Alabama. I do think Alabama is good, but I do think they have inconsistencies. Mark Sears is a monster. Unfortunately, I do think that sometimes the better team wins, not the team with the better players. So I'm going to go with Wisconsin to upset them. And then we got a matchup: Duke, Wisconsin. That was a championship one year, and I think same game, same result. I mean, Wisconsin's got a good team, but I think Duke's just way better. They're better at in every facet. They shoot better, dribble better. I mean, you name it, they do it. So we're gonna go with Duke to go ahead and get up out of there. Next, we got the West. We're gonna go down here with Florida. Go down here with my Southern boys from Florida. So Florida, Norfolk State. I actually knew some people that went to Norfolk State. I love it. Unfortunately, Florida's just too good right now. I watched them play in the SEC championship, and yeah, they did exactly what I thought they would. I think I took points with Tennessee, and they didn't even cover. Oklahoma versus UConn. UConn is just not good. They haven't been good all season. It's been a lot of times where UConn has just lost game after game after game and week after week. And one of my buddies, Connor, that one of my coworkers, he's a big UConn fan. And, before the season started, he said they were going to do it 3 times in a row. I don't even think you're going to get out of the first round. Unfortunately, we're going to go ahead and knock you out. Oklahoma it is. Memphis, Colorado State. They got Nick Clifford, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to get done. Memphis is just too good here. I think they win that game. Grand Canyon, Maryland. We're just going to go with Maryland. The Terrapins are playing really, really good. They have a great starting 5. So I think they get it done. And then Missouri versus Drake. Unfortunately, Drake had a bad year last year. I don't think that he's going to. Oh, wait, Drake? No, that's the wrong Drake. Okay, so what I think is Missouri wins because, Drake is not like us. I mean, yeah, I'm a fan, but, it is what it is, dog. Texas Tech versus UNC Wilmington. UNC Wilmington, hey, representing for the state. Unfortunately, Texas Tech is probably going to get it done here. JT Toppin is just he's one of the best players in the country. I don't have him losing in the first round. Kansas, Arkansas. I love this matchup. Bill Self is amazing coach. Calipari, amazing coach. But if I had to make my pick, I'm gonna go on a limb, man. Kansas lost some big games, and Arkansas is trending up. Let's go Arkansas. St. John's, Omaha. St. John's, Rick Pitino. It's over with. St. John's. Florida, Oklahoma. Florida is playing phenomenal basketball. I do have them passing them. Memphis versus Maryland. This is a toss-up for me. I'm gonna go with Maryland, but I could easily flip that and go Memphis. I think that either one of those teams are good. Texas Tech versus Mizzou. I think that Texas Tech. I just don't see them losing here. I think they get past them. And then this one right here, man, this is going to be a game that I'm going to watch. I'm going to love as a coach myself. I coach high school basketball. I coach little league. I've done a few different things, and I'm actually getting back into it. And most of my affiliations I have are because of I've enjoyed watching coaches. And I've been fans of coaches. That's how I became a Duke fan. Just being a fan of watching people lead. And I mean, this Arkansas St. John, this Rick Pitino versus Calipari matchup is going to be amazing. I love the fact that this is there. The one thing I can say is Arkansas will have their time, just not yet. Next, we got Florida, Maryland. Like I said, man, Maryland's a good team. Maryland's a really good team. They have a great starting 5. I just don't think they have depth. Florida has depth. I think Florida can play 8, 9 guys, and I think they will. And that's probably going to be their success in the tournament. So we're going to go with Florida. Texas Tech versus St. John. I mean, it's the age-old. Is the coach the reason for the win, or is it the players? You got uh, JT Toppin, and then you got Rick Pitino. What don't you love about this? I just think coaching matters. I think that you can be as good as you want to be, and if you don't do the right things, buy into the right system, play with the right players, have the right personnel, I think that things can go wrong. And unfortunately for JT, he doesn't have Rick Pitino on his side. St. John's it is. Florida, St. John's, this is going to be a very, very, very tough matchup. St. John's could pull that out, but Florida, they've not been here in a while, and this is their time, man. This is their time. They're going to get there. So I got Florida coming out. So right now I got Michigan State coming out the South, Duke coming out the East, and I got Florida coming out the West. And last but not least, let's get to my brothers in the middle of the country, the Midwest. So I got Houston. I did originally think that Houston was one of the weakest top teams, but I mean they're 26-1 since December. They ain't losing now. They ain't about to be 26-2 anytime soon. Yeah. Gonzaga versus Georgia. Georgia, I don't believe in them. Let's go with Gonzaga. Clemson, McNeese. You know, Clemson beat Duke. I think that's a huge, huge win. I don't see McNeese getting past them. I think they're a solid ball club. I just think that they don't have any like superstars, and that's what changes the game for them. But if they play against a team that it's all about who can just play best five for best five, I think that Clemson can beat McNeese. Purdue versus High Point. Yo, I'm from High Point, HP, East Kivett. You know what's going on. But what I will say is this. Purdue has dropped some games. Purdue has been inconsistent, and I'm going to go with the hometown favorites. High Point. Let's go ahead and get it done. Let's go. See if we can make a run. I don't know. Illinois versus Xavier. I think Illinois gets past Xavier. I haven't heard too much about Xavier this year. I'm going with Illinois. Kentucky, I mean, they're playing great basketball. I think they might be one of the best teams playing right now. High-powered offense. They just don't play no defense. If they could play defense, they'd probably be in the game. And I mean, they got a makeshift team. They beat Duke this year with a bunch of players that never played with each other. I mean, they're a bunch of they're not all freshmen. They just came out of the transfer portal. But I do think that they can get it done. Kentucky here. UCLA versus Utah State. I've watched a few games of UCLA. They actually have some really good things going. I do think that team can play. So we're gonna go with them. UCLA. And then Tennessee, Wofford. You know, they're out in this area. I mean, congratulations making a tournament. Your time stops here. Tennessee. Houston, Gonzaga. This is a troublesome game for Houston. This is a very troublesome game for Houston. I could see Houston losing here. But they're not going to. Houston, they're going to route the Zags. Get out of there. High Point University versus Clemson. Hey, man, we got North Carolina versus South Carolina. We already know which Carolina's the best. North, hands down, has this. But I think Clemson has too much offense. But High Point, they can play. You know what? High Point beats them. I like Houston, High Point. Illinois, Kentucky. Kentucky's too good right now. Illinois doesn't have the firepower to go against them. It's unfortunate. I wish you the best. Hey, shout out to Chicago. I'm a Chicago Bear, but this ain't got nothing to do with them. This is about you guys. And right now is not your time. Kentucky. Tennessee versus UCLA. I watched Tennessee lose in the SEC championship, I think. And I think that, you know, you got so many teams, you're going to get an SEC versus SEC matchup, and a good one. Tennessee, Kentucky is one that I do want to see. So I'm going to go with Tennessee. And not because I think that they don't deserve to be there, or that because I just want to see them play against Kentucky. I genuinely think that that's going to be what it is. But also, as a caveat, I do think that Kentucky and Tennessee will meet here. Houston, High Point. I think Houston routes them. Kentucky versus Tennessee. This is a tough one. I don't know what Tennessee we get. I don't know. I saw them play Florida. They beat Florida by 30, then lost by 30, and then they just recently lost. I'm going to say Kentucky wins this game. Next up, we got Houston versus Kentucky. I think that Houston is going to stay true, and they're going to get there. Boom. There we go. But then again, Kentucky it is. Okay. So that's my final four. Michigan State, Duke, Florida, Kentucky. It's pretty spread out. A couple, a moderate amount of upsets, but I like what we did here. So let's go over here to San Antonio, and let's play this Final Four out. Michigan State versus Florida. Florida's just really, really good, man. Like, they are really good. So we're going with Florida over Michigan State. I think Tom Izzo is going to get to this Final Four, but I don't think he's going to get past Florida. He could. I just don't think he is. Florida it is. Duke, Kentucky. Duke lost to Kentucky. Cooper had the ball at the end of the game. He could have did something with it. He trips over his feet. Moment was too big. Pissed down his leg. Boom. We fell on our backs, just like Davis's mom. Oh, man, shout out to Coach 30. But Duke versus Kentucky, it's a different game. That Duke team that Kentucky beat, nowhere near it. This is a different team. They're playing Isaiah Evans, who didn't get to play in that game, and he is definitely the X factor here. Isaiah Evans is what makes this team flourish. When they need a spark, he comes out. He shoots 5 for 6 from 3. Not only is he playing well there, he's also playing defense, which is absolutely phenomenal. So you've got that going for him too. I'm taking Duke. Final matchup, powerhouse game, Duke versus Florida. At the end of the day, I think one of these teams has the best defense in the country. I think they have one of the deepest teams in the country. I think they got one of the best players in the country. I think they have one of the best coaching staffs in the country. I think they're one of the tallest teams in the country. I think they shoot better than everyone else. They're one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. They have literally 10 guys that can get on the court and play, whether they play them all. But literally there's one team that is head and shoulders above everybody, efficiency in every single scenario. And that's the Duke Blue Devils. I have them winning this entire tournament. They're my team, and I'm not about to go against Cooper Flagg. I do think he's the Wooden Award winner. I do think he is a little oversold. I don't know if he's like they kind of like treat him like he's LeBron James. Absolutely not. I think that within a certain system, he's going to be amazing. I just don't know about the word generational. I don't like throwing that word around a lot. But what I will say is I do think he's good enough to win this tournament, and I think he will absolutely deliver. And there you have it. Duke cuts down the nets. I do think this is the best bracket I could have came up with. Although I do know also some of these matchups could have went either way. I could have Clemson going further. I could have Houston being upset earlier. I could have certain teams beating Duke. I could have Auburn in the end. There's so many other scenarios that I love, but this is the best one. This is the most logical one. This is the one that makes the most sense. And if I was betting my money, I would not be betting for Duke to lose the tournament, even though odds have it that they, you'd have better odds to say that they lose it than they win it, because there's 63 other teams. But in reality, there's only like 3 other teams. I think that this either is a tournament where a number 1 seed will win the tournament, even though I could see some upsets early. The number 1s are way too dominant. In this year, I've always said nobody is that head and shoulders better than everybody else. And then we kept playing, and we started to see that was not true. There are about 4 or 5 teams that are head and shoulders better than everybody. They get all the things right. They have the coaching staff. They have the rebounding, the depth. And a lot of this also is depending on attrition. If you're healthy, you play. The best ability is availability. So there you have it. My pick, Duke Blue Devils. I think they'll win. And with that, I do thank you for logging on. Thank you for checking me out. This is your boy Royalty. I hope you like it.